On an April morning in 2025, the Trump administration announced a sweeping 25% tariff on all imported cars and auto parts. The goal: protect American manufacturing and bring jobs back home. But the auto industry is a global web. American cars rely on foreign parts, and the tariff hit everything from finished vehicles to the smallest components. Industry experts warned this wasn't a targeted strike, but a blunt instrument that would raise costs across the board. Automakers scrambled to assess the damage. A 25% tax on a $10,000 part or a $40,000 car meant chaos for budgets and supply chains. Orders paused, shipping schedules unraveled, and uncertainty gripped the market. Consumers wondered, buy now before prices spike, or wait and hope the policy changes? The shockwave was immediate, but the real impact was just beginning to ripple through the nation. The policy was a gamble, and the entire American auto industry was at stake. The complexity of the global supply chain, ignored in political rhetoric, was about to become painfully clear. The tariffs' effects would soon be felt in every driveway across America. By summer, the tariffs' impact was visible on car lots nationwide. Imported sedans jumped from $28,000 to $34,000. Even American-branded vehicles packed with foreign parts saw prices soar. Dealerships struggled to explain the sudden hikes. The Made in America label had never been so expensive. Consumers became amateur supply chain detectives, hunting for models with fewer imported parts. Some cars languished on lots, while others sold out fast. The dream of an affordable new car slipped away for many families, replaced by sticker shock and tough choices. Buyers held onto old vehicles or turned to the used market, driving up prices there too. Lower and middle-income families were hit hardest. Cars are essential, not a luxury. Many stretched loans to 7 or 8 years, piling on interest and financial strain. The tariffs, meant to boost American industry, instead slowed consumer spending and created a new class of car-poor Americans. The entire ecosystem of buying and selling cars was thrown into turmoil. For Ford, GM, and Stellantis, the tariffs triggered a supply chain crisis. Their global networks, once a strength, became a liability overnight. Executives raced to trace every part's origin, no easy feat with 30,000 components per vehicle. Even the most American cars were hit by the new taxes. Drastic changes loomed: absorb costs, find new suppliers, or cut models entirely. The just-in-time inventory model collapsed as shipments stalled and production lines halted. Building new domestic factories would take years and billions, no quick fix. The industry's reliance on global efficiency was exposed, replaced by uncertainty and delay. Automakers were forced to reimagine decades-old systems on the fly, bleeding money with every day of disruption. Wall Street reacted instantly. Auto stocks plunged, erasing billions in value. Quarterly earnings turned red as profits collapsed and sales slowed. Automakers slashed R&D budgets for future tech just to survive. The real pain hit workers. Layoffs swept through factories and suppliers, especially those reliant on imported parts. The United Auto Workers Union, once hopeful, now fought to save jobs. The policy meant to create jobs was destroying them instead. Communities lost their economic base, and families faced sudden unemployment. The promise of a manufacturing revival was replaced by shuttered plants and growing jobless lines. The irony was devastating. Protectionism was hurting the very people it aimed to help. As the U.S. auto sector struggled, Canada emerged as an unexpected winner. Exempt from the tariffs, Canada became the go-to destination for global automakers seeking tariff-free access to the U.S. market. Investments poured into Ontario, with companies shifting planned U.S. factories north of the border. Canadian towns like Windsor and Oshawa boomed, holding job fairs while U.S. plants announced layoffs. The tariffs, meant to bring jobs home, instead exported them to Canada. Capital and jobs flowed to where the rules were stable and predictable. The lesson was clear. In a global economy, investment follows opportunity, not borders. Canadian officials welcomed the boom, but knew it was tied to volatile U.S. policy. For now, Canada reaped the benefits of America's protectionist turn. The contrast with the American Midwest was stark and instructive. The 25% tariff didn't just raise prices, it shattered the global supply chain's predictability. Companies cut unprofitable models, and some foreign automakers withdrew from the US market entirely. Others shifted production to Canada, Asia, or Europe, abandoning parts of the American market. The crisis revealed hidden dependencies. Even American parts relied on foreign materials. The idea of a purely domestic car was exposed as fiction. The cascading costs hit every corner of the industry, with no one truly insulated. Trust in the US as a stable trade partner eroded, and suppliers hesitated to invest. Automakers began prioritizing resilience over efficiency, exploring regional supply chains. The result: higher costs, less optimization, and a new era of uncertainty. The global supply chain was under siege, its future shape unknown. The dream of disentangling from globalization proved far more costly than imagined. By fall 2025, the American auto industry faced a crossroads. The tariff had failed to spark a manufacturing renaissance. Instead, it brought higher prices, job losses, and chaos. Two paths lay ahead: rebuild a domestic supply chain at enormous cost, or hope for a return to open trade. Reshoring would take years and make cars even more expensive. Reversing course might restore affordability, but trust was broken and global partners wary. The affordable car, once a symbol of American freedom, now risked becoming a luxury. The stakes for American manufacturing were higher than ever. The industry had to choose: double down on costly nationalism or fight for a fragile global system. The decisions made now would shape what Americans drive, how much it costs, and where it's built for a generation. The road ahead was uncertain, and the cost of every mile had never been higher.